Hey guys, it's Michelle. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing my December wrap-up. Now the good news is that this video probably won't be very long because I have talked about most of these books in two vlogs that I did in December, and I will have them linked down below. First is the 'Tis the Season-a-thon vlog, and the second is the Smut-a-thon vlog. So I'll have both of those linked in the description. Take a look because I'm going to go through these books very fast. But I read a total of 12 books in December, which is again the amount of books I've read every month while on BookTube, so I'm doing great. The first book that I read in December was Dumplin' by Julie Murphy. I gave this book 2.5 stars. It also made my list of worst books of 2018. If you haven't seen that yet, I will also link that down at the bottom. I didn't like this. I talk about it more in my worst books and in my vlog, so that's all you need to know. The next book that I read for December was The Afterlife of Holly Chase by Cynthia Hand. I really liked this book. I was shocked to like it so much. I have never read A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, so I didn't know what I was getting into with this, but this was a pleasant surprise and I gave this 4.5 stars. The next book that I read was actually a book of short stories, and that is Snow and Love by Melissa De La Cruz, Nick Stone, Amy Friedman, and Casey West. I'm just telling you now that Casey West and Nick Stone carried this book, and the other two stories were not good, but it was a cute little wintry read. Casey West's story in particular I really enjoyed, so I'm glad I read it. It was good. The next book that I read for 'Tis the Season-a-thon was Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. I obviously gave this 5 stars. It's not my favorite book in the series, but it was nice to get back to the magic, to little Harry Potter in his first year and learning all about the magic, so I was happy I read it. And the last book that I read for 'Tis the Season-a-thon that kind of segued me into the Smut-a-thon was Merry Inkmas by Talia Hibbert. I liked it. I didn't think it was great. I actually thought it was more of a Hallmark movie with like one sex scene, so I gave this 3 stars, but it was a good segue into Smut-a-thon, so that worked out well. The first book that I officially read for Smut-a-thon was The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang. I gave this book 4.5 stars. I thought it was very well written. I thought the sex scenes were great. I thought it was a great story all in all, so I was very excited that I started off Smut-a-thon with this one. The next book that I read for Smut-a-thon was Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. I think that this was my taboo book, or forbidden, I think that's what it was called, but it was so slow burn and I didn't love it as much as I thought I was, so I ended up giving it 3 stars. And then the next book that I read for Smut-a-thon was On the Island by Tracy Garvis Graves. I actually really like this one. There were sex scenes, but it was like very... we're having sex. And that's not what I wanted for Smut-a-thon, but overall the story was good and I gave it 4 stars. The next book that I read for Smut-a-thon was Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating by Christina Lauren. I did not love this. I loved the first 95% of this, and the last 5% I gave 1 star, so I ended up giving this book 3 stars. I wish the ending never happened, so. That was the end of my readathons for December. They were back to back, so I read a lot in those 2 weeks. And the next book that I attempted to read and ultimately DNF'd was this. This was my only DNF of the month. Look at me. That was Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. I read this for my book club. I DNF'd it 150 pages in because nothing was happening. The girls in my book club, none of them seemed to like it because it ends on a cliffhanger, and they were not about that. So I'm glad I didn't read it. I'm not gonna read the next one. So it's not a big loss for me. I wasn't into this. Next book that I read was An Arc of Again But Better by Christine Riccio. I really like this. I gave this 5 stars, and it made my best books of 2018 list, which I will also put down in the description below. The last book that I read in December and in 2018 was The Chaos of Standing Still by Jessica Brody. This is a book about a girl who has a text message on her phone from her dead best friend that she hasn't read in a year. And she meets this boy at an airport where they're stuck in because of snow. And it was a good contemporary. I don't think it was a great contemporary. Like, it was a lot of insta love, but I thought you know, I thought it was decent. I actually ended up giving it 4 stars. Does that sound right? I'm sorry. So I ended up giving this 3 stars because I didn't think it was great, but I definitely didn't think it was awful. So it was just somewhere in between for me. And yeah, so that is my December wrap up. I told you it was gonna be fast. Wasn't kidding. I am currently rereading Twilight with Alana and Teresa, and I will put their channels down in the description below, but we are doing a buddy read of all the Twilight books, 1 book per month. So I'm very excited. I'm picking that up today, and that is my plan right now. Thanks for watching my video. See you in my next one. Bye!